at Shoemaker Guitar Works. How's it going? So I'm back with the Stromberg voisinette 1928 model. We got to get these old strings off of here, and I do believe they have been changed at one point in time in its infancy, or at least one or two of them, because like this one here for the A string is all completely braided around the end of the string and whatever. So I am going to start by throwing a little oil on these tuners, just because I don't want to run them dry. They've not been used in years and years and years. And it's just always a good preventative measure. So I'm gonna roll this off the end of the Oh, I see what they did. They actually tied the old string to, or the broken string up here, to a piece of wire. In order to make it work. Hey, I guess, you know, whatever works. And now there's pieces of the string stuck in here. It's also good to run these tuners a little bit, because they haven't been used in who knows how many years. Especially when the strings are tied around themselves. Alright, got that one out. I've already taken the two pins out for here. Try and get this piece of wire, there we go, off the tuner. Now comes the fun part of getting these pins out of here. It's got one broken one, but I do have one back in my parts stash. Oh, that didn't come out too bad at all. So that was the A string. That is the B, and that is the E. D. And this one is not an original and was extremely tight. So now try and push these back through the hole so I don't have to try and pull them through the guitar. They've been on here for so dang long. That one, although there's a pin stuck in it, is coming out fairly easy. So now, I stick my big hand in here. Alright, so I am going to cut these curly ends off. There's those. These were probably black diamond strings, I'd assume. Well, we've got a bridge plate problem in here. I can feel that right now. The bridge plate is pretty messed up. Probably from having string tension on it for all those years and never being messed with. The fretboard has your typical crack down the middle of it. Is it loose at all? No? Maybe a little. Not bad though. How about the bridge? Bridge maybe at the very back, but we're good there. So, let's see. Okay. So, I guess the first thing we'll do here is just clean this thing up. And I've got some naphtha here and an all-purpose cloth. And I'm just gonna try and clean all this dust and gross off of this thing as best as I can, just to make it a little more suitable to work on, I guess. All in all, this guitar is in pretty darn good shape for being almost 100 years old. So Stromberg voisinette got bought by Kay in 1930 and became K-Craft, and then they eventually dropped the Craft and it just became K Musical Instruments. Alright, now the really dirty part, the fretboard. And you can actually put naphtha right onto the guitar, it's not going to hurt it. We may have to remove this fretboard. because there's definitely some cuppage to it. But I mean, you can see how nice this thing is. Cleans up. And I'll do this to the whole entire guitar. And it'll take 90% of the stuff off of the lacquer and make it clean again. Naphtha, aka Zippo or Ronson lighter fluid, is a very mild solution. It is flammable, so you gotta be careful with it, but it's very mild and cleans these old guitars very well. Even if this was a shellac finish, you can use naphtha on it and it will not hurt it. You can see how nice that is going to look when it's all cleaned up and back to being a functional instrument. And of course I dropped my towel, but that's fine. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with this fretboard. That's going to take some thinking. But, you know, this is an all original guitar. It's not been touched in however many years. The guy thinks that it was bought new by his wife's grandfather. And so I'm going to go with that story. That sounds good to me. So brand new, this guitar would have cost approximately $8, something like that, out of catalogs. I'm not sure which catalog he bought this out of. So these are very similar to the Harmony Supertones and the stuff like that of the era, but they're made a little nicer. Like this has a spruce top instead of a birch top. It's got mahogany sides, I believe. Maybe. That might be birch sides and back and sides. Ebony fretboard, ebony bridge, definitely a mahogany neck. So, you know, they were made with quality materials, and it shows because, you know, the fact that this guitar is still together almost 100 years later, it really says something. But, you know, that's the kind of engineering that people did back then. You know, Depression era and whatever else. You deal with what you had. So they took this piece of mechanics wire, farmer wire, whatever you want to call it, baling wire, tied it to the string, and then wound it around the peg head. Hey, it worked. So it's not a stupid idea, I guess, right? But there's going to be quite a bit more on this series. We're pretty much going to do a full restoration to this, make it so it's playable again and a beautiful singing instrument. So stay tuned, guys. Hit that like and subscribe, and have a great day. Peace.